Good morning. Happy Friday, TGIF, and all that good stuff. Welcome to Mighty Ox Trading as we attempt to take some money out of the futures market this morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Hmm. Give me 1 second while I check some issues here. Hmm. Let me try something here. Okay, I apologize. Having a little bit of a technical difficulty here. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Oops. Again. Okay, now let's try and start this. So, overnight, we seem like we haven't had a lot of movement, really, compared to other days that we've seen. You can see here, here's our range on the NASDAQ, only about 62 points. And you can see compared to the last few days, it's a very small range. So I don't know if this is a holiday hangover or what, but we'll see how much action we get this morning. ES also in a tight range, just 14 points. Copper, copper's in trending upward, just missed this move up. You can see it's been squeezing almost all night. Only about 100 tick range. Gold moving up right now. It's had about an 18 point range, which maybe the most movement overnight of anything I track. The Ultra Bond. Ultra Bond's actually interesting because the Ultra Bond's range is about uh, 1.6 ticks, but its highs and lows almost match yesterday's highs and lows. You can see here, this is yesterday's high, this is today's high. This is yesterday's high, yesterday's low, this is today's low. So right now they're kind of checking my volume here, making sure I'm being heard. Yeah. Okay, I am. That's good. Excellent. Uh, where were we? Crude oil. Crude oil's had about a little more than a point and a half range overnight. Or since open, I should say. Its high was actually at 8 p.m. Eastern last night, and it just made a new low as it's breaking down some. Natural gas, still a bit of a tight range, about a point and a half as well. Or not a point and a half, about 150 ticks. And then the Russell. Let's check that signal on the UB. UB heading downward. Russell has about a 12-point range. No, 14. No, 12. Yeah, 12. And early morning math. Yay. Crude bounced here. Big 25, 26 tick candle up. Ultra Bonds looks like it's making some decent moves. This was the evening session. Would have been a win here, loss, loss, loss. We can chart out. Ouch. So it went 6. So we'll consider that a win. Not have taken that, would have taken that. That's probably going to be a stop out. That would have been a win. How about that? Ouch. This would have been a loss. Crude probably reversing now. Now crude's continuing to go. So usually I don't, when something has gone up that much, that quick, I usually don't jump on it. This might be proving me that theory was wrong this time. Continue to chart out this the bonds. Actually, let me see this. Alright, okay. Yeah, we can see that would have been a loss. Coming back down, obviously, this would have been a nice win. ES, RTY, indices moving. Let's see what's going on there. Big move up here on the ES, on the NASDAQ. Got a buy signal in the ES. I think we're actually going to wait to see if the NASDAQ comes with it. UB firing again. Oh, reverse signal there. Interesting. That would have gave us 7. This would have gave us 7. Looks like this short here would not have given us 7. Nope, would have only given us 4. So that ends up being a stop out. But technically hasn't done it yet. What was that last signal? Platinum, which I haven't been charting. Boop, 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 boop. NQ. That might be my cue to go to NQ. NQ. There's our buy signal on NQ. Let's find our MNQ chart. 25 seconds. Let's go down. Oops. Let's go down to 15 by 10. NQ 1510. Order quantity of 2, 3. Buy signal went away. Buy signal came back. I wasn't paying attention somehow. So we're filled of 3 micro NQs. Our MNQ. UV. ES. UV. Unsure what it wants to do. Natural gas. Being blocked by my MNQ chart. Came up some. Went for 3 on NQ here. 3 micro contracts. I got in late by a point and a quarter. My stop loss is 10 points. That'll be $60. Looking for 15 points. Took a $19.50 loss on MNQ last night. Gold giving us a sign. Short. That's a, yeah, I don't know. I like this short here on the 1, the 5 minute doesn't give me as much, hope. Let's just a little watch it. Maybe I need to stop watching that 5 minute chart. Yep. Gold immediately reversed, so I guess maybe it wasn't as good as it thought. NQ just hanging around right now. Excuse me. Back at break even here. So everything's still kind of calm. Put this up here in the right hand corner. And we'll do some charting. Since there's not much going on right now. This is last evening. See here, copper. Starting here at 7 p.m. Eastern. 1, 2, 3 wins. loss, and then 2 more wins. And I only start looking at this, I would not have gotten in on that sell, even though it would have worked. But it came down into the bands. I expected this pullback. Could have got in there. I'm not sure that would have worked, honestly. I don't think it would have went down far enough. This I definitely would have got into. Would have worked. This I would not have, even though it looks like it would have worked. This, no, because we have downtrending bands. Our downtrending SMA line. This I would have. I like that. And as you can see, that would have gave us our 20 ticks. This buy would not have downtrending bands again. This would have been good. You know what? Honestly, not sure. I might have been hesitant here. The bands are starting to uptrend. It's a good question. This is one of those, I mean, bands were kind of sideways. Already, yeah, right there, they were starting to look like, yeah, I think I would have. I would try very much to be honest with myself, so I'm not skewing my results of what I would have and would not have taken. Let's see, then this buy signal here would not have into the bands. Bands had to make an acute angle, so I would have questioned that. Although I'm pretty sure it might have worked. Well, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. By the way, we're down $3 on our MNQ trade. Maybe it would not have worked. Well, actually, nope. So I was right in that. And Chopfest City. This one here, I don't know. This wouldn't have worked, obviously. This is gonna stop us out at some point. But this is how tight everything was ranging here. Now, if I had gone to when you see, moves like this where it's very tight, I need to get better at changing my stop. If I would going for just instead of a 20 tick, a 10 tick, this would have been a winner. But and then actually this stops me out here, there, and I never get in on this bigger move here. That if I would have got out here, then I could grab this buy signal. It looked good. That would have ended up being a winner somewhere up in here. So save that. Move on. We're now down 15 bucks on this MNQ trade. It looks like it's gonna. Let's see if it bounces off this SMA line. We still have an uptrending SMA line on both the 2 and the 5. Now down $28 as we did break the SMA line here. Looks like we're going to be getting an opposite signal. We broke the SMA line about the 2 and the 5. I mean, sorry, 1 minute and the 5 minute. ES also headed down. Russell, not sure exactly what the Russell's doing there. There's our opposite signal on the Russell on the Nasdaq. We still got uptrending Bollinger Band lines here. Still got uptrending. I mean, you see the flatten out here, the SMA line. Gonna cut this trade, I think. Let's see if it bounces here. Okay, yep, we're getting out here right before we get stopped out. So it's about a 60 buck loss there. A biggie. UB. So back to trending downward here on the UB. 4 point move for the 4 tick move down. NG. Oh, we can knock this down. NG. Moving up here. NG was very choppy. Most, excuse me, most of the evening. Overnight. See here. I mean, no reason not to take this long. There's no way it would have got to our profit target. Would have got the 30, which would have been enough to make it break even though. Which would have happened about just a couple candles later. At this point, I don't know. I still need to figure out natural gas. I like its movements, but yet it just doesn't have follow through at times. See, this would have went most of the night. Where are we at already here? So we're already at 3 hours on this move. Boop, 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 finally there. So about 3.5 hours. This will be our next entry. This would have been much quicker. And then here. Which, I think I'm gonna need. I like this 40 by 20, but I think I'm gonna need to make it more 40 by 30. I mean, yeah, 30 by 20, or maybe even 30 by 15. I like the 2-to-1 ratio if I can keep it. And Q is definitely going downward, so I picked the wrong, just picked the wrong way to go with it. I went on this buy signal, and there was nothing wrong with that signal at all. Everything was uptrending. That's just the game sometimes. So we'll track this. I think I get back in the opposite way. Coming up here on the 8 o'clock hour on the East Coast. About an hour and a half away from the open on the New York. NQ. NQ. Of course, might just not be showing any follow through at all. Let's chart out NQ. Doesn't really matter. I think I am the only one here. So you see here, this one, this was where I left off last night on NQ. This would have got enough to get my stop loss back to break even, which is where we're at here. Now, the second part is we wouldn't have got in there, and that would have got us, or easily got us, our 15 points. What was that signal? HG. Let's see what copper's doing. Copper, a weird move there. Pushed up, then pushing down. We'll do our NQ charting. Again, this one would have never stopped us out, but we would have went far enough here that when we got back there, we would have taken about $100 win. So, same here. This would have gotten, well, I would have only got to 9.5, so no, that would have ended up stopping us out. Coming down here, this probably would have worked. Let's see, 60, 61 down to 60, 43. I would have worked, but I would not have gotten in here at these uptrending bands. Crude oil. It's not easy being crudy. I don't know. I'm being silly. Crude's just kind of sine waving right now. Back to charting out RNQ overnight. So sideways is the most dangerous. You see your EMA sideways, but this would have worked. And coming back down, it would have worked. Then we went sideways. Copper. Let's see what's copper doing. Copper, this big buy signal. After that weird kind of sell signal there, let's take a copper. Let's look at copper. Copper, 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 copper. There we go. Bringing up that chart, I missed it, but let's see. Buy market. Let's see, we're down a tick. I should have went in with a. I should have went in on a limit order, but let's see what happens here. There we go. 4 ticks up. So I don't like the fact that we're kind of in the third band on the 1 minute. I'm kind of watching this. Pull back right away. Let's take a quick look at resistance. See if there's any reason not to be in this trade. Oops, that's the 1 minute. I want the 5 minute. Pulls back here. See big wicks here in the last two 5 minute candles. Selling wick here is kind of disturbing me. 2 minutes left on that 5 minute candle. We're down 3 ticks right now. Let's draw out some nines. That's the high of this past move. That looks like the next major resistance point, really. I mean, we have this here, but it's already kind of going past there. We're down 5 ticks. So we're still quite a ways away from that. 19 ticks away from that next resistance point. See if this can continue to push up. Interesting doji candle here on the 1 minute. Oh, hey Deco, how you doing? Sorry, was paying attention to this copper and I didn't see you there. I'm doing good. My week's been okay. Nothing, nothing great, nothing horrible. How have you been doing? How's your trading been going? Yeah, let's go. We'll finish charting later there. Let's go see what the indices are doing. Indices trying to move back up here. Oop, there's copper. We're now up 6 ticks in this trade. No real resistance here to any reason it can't continue to go. Although it's, I mean, it's not going quickly by any means. Sellers are pushing down. Check our Dom, Dom, Dom. The Dom, we have some. You just have a few buyers coming in. They go up a bunch. Not a lot of orders stacked on either side. Right now we're up 2 ticks. It's kind of stalled here. There we go. There we go. Oh, we're up 8 ticks. There we go. Now we're getting up near that resistance area. Stop loss has moved up to break even. Can it push through that resistance? We're up 15 ticks. Pulling back off that resistance. Gonna try again. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Continue going. Hopefully more highs than lows there, Deco. This trade's going. My stop trailing by about 4 ticks. Okay, came back down to my trailing stop. We're out of that trade. Let's go look at the stats. Let's first go look at what the NQ is yelling about and the UB. NQ, unsure what it wants to do. UB is looking kind of ugly too. So let's go look at our stats on this trade. There we go. Now up 137.50 on the day. My two MNQ losses bring down that amount. So we got in at 440.25 out of 441.10. It's still going. I'm sometimes thinking I'm trailing my stop too close. I don't know. I'm happy with it. It's 17 ticks, which was 212.50, and it took about 7 minutes and 41 seconds. So, Deco, what made you pick 441.35? Obviously, we both would have got out a little early there. Curious to see how far this goes. Guess I can get rid of that resistance line. We are about 21 ticks from its daily high. Hold. Oh, yeah. It's been something I've been meaning to look at as well. I, I really feel there's some people just use that kind of action. Some people use charts. I really believe there's a happy medium between using both and looking at all of that information. But I just haven't gotten there yet to be able to. So we see that copper is still actually going up here, though, heading toward its daily high. But yeah, I definitely like the idea of eventually uh, using more volume profile and using more like what you just said there. To find support and resistance areas and likely spots where something might stall or even reverse. Not sure what that white line there is. Get rid of that. So I could have got a bunch more out of that trade, but I'm happy with it. I'm not going to complain. Hello, Stephen Lee. How are you today? Thank you for joining me. Natural gas. Pulling down, but into bands. Ooh, well, UB finally found a direction. I am not yet funded. I am working on it. My trader psychology keeps getting in my way. Or I should say, I'm getting in my own way and not trusting myself. And I thus don't take the trades I should. I second guess everything. And I'm not aggressive enough, which is just as bad as being too aggressive. Gold sent this buy signal. I just missed it. Oops. But bands are tightening. I do know people that are funded, and I know I'm going to get there sooner than later. Have you started with Earn a Trade or any other evaluation company, Steven? Oops. Oh yeah, I don't have. I don't trade stocks, but I keep Tesla up because it can tell us what the indices might end up doing. Oops, I'm gonna put it down here, but let's see what's it done overnight. It's been spotty. That's an interesting candle there, though. Nothing major. Okay, good. Ah, man. Sorry to hear that. You gonna try again? Yeah, holidays can be busy times and can be something can be uh, distracting to try and trade. I'm doing the 75K. It's a happy medium between, not so big that the profit target's like hard to reach, but not so small that you feel like you're suffocating with the drawdown and the daily loss if you have a bad day. Indices are still kind of sideways. Bonds just continue to go down. Oop, they made a new daily low. So let's look at the resistance here. Next point would be way down here. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. 50K is what I recommend to people. I just did 75K just because I just wanted a little extra space, but 50K seems to be the right, right level. If you want something bigger later on, now Earn to Trade allows you to have multiple funded accounts. If you can, once you're comfortable and all that, then you can just go for a second one. I thank everyone for joining me this morning. This wonderful Friday morning here in mid-November, heading toward the holiday season. Remember, feel free to be like Steven and Deco and say hi in the chat. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel, please, for the YouTube algorithm, and like this video. So I continue to try to build up this channel. ES. ES has been a little steady rise. I mean, NASDAQ has been too. So far, it hasn't been showing much follow through either way this morning. Volume still seems light. I haven't compared it to normal, but it seems light. Let's look. Let's look at the last candle, 720. How much volume did we do? 897. Let's go back in time. Let's go back to last Friday, which is there. 720. 720. Yeah, we're about half the volume of last week. So I think we had news hit for something. I think last week we had not last week was non-farm payrolls, so maybe that's not a fair comparison. I don't know if we have any news this week. I should check. I should really check this news stuff before I start the day. I have an economic calendar here somewhere, don't I? Maybe I don't. Huh. Okay. Well, let me go bring up an economic calendar. Let's see here. Well, nothing on the agenda today. It looks major. Got a Fed member speaking at noon, but that's about it. Nothing that's going to, nothing that should make the markets go all wild and crazy. Looking at next week, looks like Monday we got some retail sales reports. Tuesday, nothing major. Seems pretty calm. I usually, I stream about 5 times a week, 3 mornings and 2 evenings. In the mornings, I usually stream from about 7:30 Eastern to somewhere between 10 and 11. Oh, big move up here on the S&P. But well, relatively big compared to what we were seeing. Uh, but yeah, I usually it's about 3.5 hours. So looking for another good trade. Got a good one on copper. Move up my yellow line here for high of the day. So far this morning, 2 trades, one loss on MNQ for about slightly just under 60, and then a win on copper for about 212. Which, if I hadn't been trailing the stop, could have been much more. Gold and RTY. Gold pulling back. RTY pulling back. Crude pulling back. They're even pulling back all of a sudden. Bonds bounced. Bouncing baby bonds. I don't know. So Steven, if you're still here, what do you like to trade? What was your favorite assets to trade when you were trading? Oh, so we see pullbacks here, both copper and gold. Cool. I you know, when I first started trading futures, ES seemed very fast to me, and now it seems very slow to me. And actually find I always thought there'd be no way I'll ever trade NQ. I thought it was just too fast, too wild, and I really liking NQ now. ES, I just can't seem to get a handle on the ES anymore. Finding a good reward to risk on it has been tough, so I've been going more to NQ when I trade the indices. I probably trade copper and gold more than the indices, but and lately I've been really looking at the Ultra Bond as well. But copper, I like copper. You know, it seems to give me good win rates. It can be thinly traded, not a lot of liquidity, depending on the time of the day. But it's been a really good performer for me since I've started, doing this. And I found it at first. I had ignored it for gold and silver. Kind of dropped silver because of its high tick value. And copper, for a while, copper was my number one thing. Last couple of weeks, it's been a little bit iffier, but I really like copper. Big pullback here on copper. This is a 30 tick candle down. See, it sent me this signal here, but I didn't take it because we still had an uptrending SMA line. It's leveled out now. It would have been a meh. We would have got 13 ticks there. I usually shoot for 20. 1250. Same as ES. Yeah, 1250. I usually shoot for 20 ticks in a trade. And, like here, this would have gave me much more than 20. But what I do, I think you haven't joined me before, but so I've explained this before. I chart out every trade I would have taken, even of course because I can't be on 24/7. These are all the trades I would have charted out based on my entries. So these would have been, since open last night, if I had been trading the entire time, this would have been a win. This would have been one tick from a win. So my trailing stop would have stopped me out somewhere about 15 ticks. So consider it a win. A win, loss, win, win, win. I wouldn't have taken this because of it went to the third bands. Wouldn't have taken this one even though this one would have worked because of the uptrending SMA line. Win, win, loss, long loss, and this win. I just need to put this into play. See, I mean, I see these great stats. I keep a spreadsheet. Let me bring up the spreadsheet. There we go. Let me find the spreadsheet. There we go. I keep the spreadsheet. I the the bands. The Bollinger Bands. I don't like the 2 standard deviation. I think it breaks the 2 too much for it to be much help. But I really like having the third standard deviation band. Usually, if it breaks the third band, you're going to see somewhat of a reversal. Especially if it breaks the third band where it wasn't like crawling up the bands. Let's go back to the charts. Um, if it breaks the third band, Like, let's see if I can find an example. Here he, it was crawling down, and we did, it did break the bands here and still kept going down. But then when we have those long wick down outside of the bands, you know, kind of knew it was going to start going sideways. Like here, this candle broke the band. Second one, kind of, the continuation up, and then the pullback. Again, here broke the third band, pullback. Broke the third band, pullback. So I really like the third band. The second band doesn't, I have it here just as reference, but I don't really look at that much. So that's basically my strategy. Is I have the super trend on here. That's what's sending these signals, the buys and the sells, which should be long and short. I hate that it says buy and sell, but and I say buy and sell. But and then I just once I get a signal, I look at the bands, look at support and resistance, and what the SMA is doing, and sometimes what the EMA is doing. I really like the bands on a daily chart. If you look here, bring up this daily chart, and these yellow lines are going to be in the way. But if you break a third band on the daily chart, like here, this one didn't reverse right away, but the next day it did, and it started that reversal up. Third band break here on the daily chart, and next 4 days are green. Um, let's see if I can find any other examples. Uh, Here, third band break or touch, and went up. I mean, it started coming back down again, but usually right after a third. I mean, I haven't got the guts yet to actually try it, but you can almost on a third band break on a daily chart. Here's another one, and it broke on that day. It went up, and as soon as it broke, it reversed and went back up. You can almost on a set your set an order on the third band, and if it breaks, it's going to reverse in your way, going your way. I really like this using the super trend, and then using the excuse me, and then looking at where I'm at. I sometimes look at the 5 minute and 1 minute at the same time. Look for a little bit of confirmation. But as I was saying before, I chart out. Oops, spreadsheet. There we go. I chart out everything I would trade, and then I keep track of it each day. I actually have like 13 weeks of data now, and like here, this is copper for the last 2 weeks, not including this past week, and the strategy based on me just charting it out would have given me 72 wins, 49 losses, and an 8 that would have gone far enough to make my trailing stop go into profit, but not all the way to my profit target. And then last week was 76.33. So this strategy, even though I'm not putting it into play because I don't try, for some reason I don't trust myself, normally sees anywhere between a 55 to 65% win rate. I'm just all this. I mean, it takes time. All this is a Google Doc, and I've tested different levels of win loss. So like I was showing here, back here on TradingView, I chart out every trade I would have taken. Oh, let me put this back on a 5 minute. So like here's NQ. This would have been a loss. I would have taken this and eventually got stopped out. And I stopped charting. I got to do the rest. But if you look here, all these trades are are what I would have hypothetically took, even though didn't actually take the trades, but they were all the hypotheticals that I would have took based on my strategy. So I keep trying to prove myself the strategy works. For most of the time for NQ, I'm looking for 15 points with a 10-point stop loss. But during the 8 to 11 hours, right before and after the open, I actually increased that to 30 by 20. So I keep trying to tweak it. My goal is to try and find a settings and things where I can get as close to 2 to 1 reward to risk as I can. With NQ, it's more, what is it, 1.5. 1.5 to 1, which is, decent. That way, even if I lose half the time, if I'm running a 1.5 to 1 reward to risk, I'm going to be profitable. I just need to put that in play. I still, even with 13, 14 weeks of data, I still not trusting myself or I just overthink too much. It's like if I could find a way to make this into a automatic trading strategy where it just did it on its own, I'll probably be doing really well. This is why I like using TradingView. I mean, I enter my orders on NinjaTrader, but I use TradingView for all my charting, just because it's just so easy to chart out these wins and losses and all that. NG, what's NG doing? Bouncing. Oh, natural gas made a new low of the day. UB, yep. I missed that signal. Would have been a good one. See here. I just plot this. Ultra bond I look for 7 by 5, 7 ticks by 5 ticks. Last 2 trades would have been winners if I had taken them. I've never used it, but I've heard good things. There's bunch of people on the Earn the Trade Discord that like Sierra. If you use Discord, I definitely suggest joining the Earn the Trade Discord. A lot of good trading talk there. Okay, copper. Ooh, so that would have been pretty good to take there. I would not have taken this sell signal here or short signal because bands are still. I mean, the SMA was still uptrending, but it would have given us our 20 ticks on copper there. Russell made a new daily high. Russell's next resistance is its high of the day yesterday. Still a ways to go before it gets back to its all-time highs from last week. You see this sell signal here in gold. I didn't take it, though there was no reason not to. At this time of day, I'll be looking for 3.5 points with a 2.5 point stop loss. It never got more than 1.3 at this point, but will still be in that. What kind of strategy were you using before, Steven? So we come up, ugh, as we come up on the 9 o'clock hour. About 40 minutes away from the New York Bell. I've experimented with VWAP bands. Matter of fact, I still have some here on copper, I believe. I tend to overplot things. Well, so I plotted the 1, the 2, and the 3 standard deviations on the 1 minute, the 2 minute, sorry, the 1 minute, and the 5 minute. That probably would have been a good call there because it got really close to that third STD band there when it reversed. Just having to, I never took the time to really study it. You know, I knew that if it got down into between the second and third bands, that it was most likely going to start reversing. Same with if it got up here in between the second and third. But when it was in the middle, I really didn't figure it out much. So looking for a couple more, at least one more good trade, maybe two, maybe three if it comes at us. I'm not sure why I say us. It's up, up $137.50 today. One good, one good copper trade, two bad MNQ trades. gold. Let's see what gold's doing here. Gold's come up. Gold's been ranging up. I mean, trending up now since about 2 hours now. Pulled back to the 20 SMA. Trying to bounce up. Copper's kind of going sideways for a bit. Ultra bond continuing to kind of move up again. Move up more. And check what agriculture did overnight. Soybean oil trending down. It's currently closed for that weird 45 minutes that they close agriculture. Corn also down. Russell is sideways in a slight down trend. Dow's slightly uptrending. Crude oil. So we chart out crude here. See, crude's been giving us decent. Looks like it's decent signals. Let's go back. Let's go back in time here. You can see last evening this trade would have started at 11 Eastern, 10 o'clock my time. This would have lasted forever. Finally stopped me out there. So it would have lasted 4 hours. And that's when the downtrend started though. There. Looking for 20 ticks easily. Got it. Next obvious entry is here. Again, easily got it. Yes, what's it doing here? Nothing. Okay. Oops, knocked that signal down without looking at it. NG, okay. It's been iffy. This would have got us our 20 ticks. Back to coming down. You can see here, excuse me, almost would have stopped us out, but would have got us a win eventually here. Boom, there. Would have ignored the SPY signal. So that was definitely going against the trend. Next one was here, which would have eventually got us where we wanted to go there. Big, big candle here, which I didn't take. I just gotten on the stream here and I did not take it, but it would have given us the 20. Now here at 8 o'clock, I would have switched to looking for 30 ticks instead of 20 with a 20 tick stop loss. And that would give us that. So crude oil, which isn't actually one of my favorite things to trade, I find it really choppy. But it would have given us some really good entries so far today. Morning, Rich. How you doing? Oh yeah, once again, I'll make this little announcement. Um, I stream usually. I use something called Restream to stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So if you're on YouTube and you see me talking to somebody and you don't see that person in the chat, it's because they're on Twitch, and vice versa. So you can see here this joint chat here, um, and I'm talking to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but you can't see one another unless I would put this chat up somewhere in the window, which I might figure out how to do at some point in time. But so if you see me talking to someone and you're wondering, well, who the heck am I talking to because you don't see them in the chat, this is why. Uh, Expecting a bounce on NQ today is Rich. It's been kind of like choppy, rangy, choppy for the past few hours. Pull back on the UB. It's just volume seems very low. Uh, Nothing seems to be finding much direction for the last. I mean, metals have had a little bit of direction, but the actual Nasdaq and NQ, S&P, the range overnight has been a lot less than normal. Or what I shouldn't say normal. What we've seen lately. You know, this 14-point range on the S&P and a 62-point range on the Nasdaq. Were you still here yesterday, Rich, when I disappeared unexpectedly when my computer decided it didn't want to connect to the internet anymore? Yeah, every now and then my computer does something weird where all of a sudden it would just drop the Wi-Fi and it can't find any Wi-Fi, like not just mine, but normally it picks up the others in the neighborhood. It just won't, and I got to reboot the computer in order to get it to work again. And I don't know why it does it, but it just decided to do it in an inopportune time yesterday. So we just passed 9 o'clock, and we didn't really see much bouncing anywhere. Not even in the metals yet. Everything's just kind of calm right now. Maybe the calm before the storm. Oh, do you prefer Twitch over YouTube? I started off with Twitch before I found Restream and realized I could do both. Uh, YouTube has a lot more trading content than Twitch does. So I don't see any reason not to do both, I guess. Restream is a little clunky, but right now I don't have the cash to upgrade Streamlabs to be able to do both on it. So this works. 9:45, huh? Yep, nice. Yep, 10 to 12 points. Excellent. Yeah, the Dow is. Oh, there's a nice little bump up. Dow. Dow's been one providing direction today versus the others. Although we're seeing a bump up now on the Nasdaq here as well and the S&P. Slow grind up. Thank you there for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that. Russell. Russell giving us a buy signal as well. So it seems like all the indices are starting to move upwards. Find a Russell chart. Russell chart. Russell chart. Russell chart. Russell chart. Russell chart. I keep saying that. There it is. Call it. We're gonna grab a Russell trade here. Well, pull back here. Oh, this 1 minute candle. Let's wait until it decides it wants to continue going green for me. Yeah, it is. NQ also pushing up, but ES is very near its high of the day. Only about a point away. Oh, may have missed my Russell. Yeah. No, Russell's not sure what it wants to do yet. Yeah, take a put in a limit order, see if it goes without me. No, we failed. Yep, we failed in going backwards a little bit. Couple of red 1 minute candles here on the indices. Huh, I don't have a. I usually don't take trades this close to the open. It's still 22 minutes, so see what we can get out of it. There we go. Got the Russell moving up here. We're up 9 ticks. It's at its high of the day, which we hit about an hour ago, well, a little less than an hour ago. See if we can get through it. Seems to be struggling at this level. Nasdaq and ES continuing to move up. Russell is the one that seems to have a mind of its own. If you compare the four, Dow pulling back a little bit. See if it can continue here. If it continues to, yep, it's coming back down to my entry price. See if it can get back up there. If it gets back up to its previous high here, which is acting as resistance at 24.8.1, which is exactly where we got to on that candle as well. If it gets back up there, I might just take that profit there, since it seems to be struggling at that level. Right now we're back up to being 6 ticks in the profit, 7. Back up to 9 ticks. We're almost back at that level of resistance, 2 ticks away from it. It's tempting me. Do I pull it here for the $50 gain, or do I let it see if it can break through? It's just sitting there. Pardon me if you hear any noise. Getting my eggs for breakfast. It's trying. It went above and then pulled back. Good luck on that one, Rich. Gold sending us a signal as well here. It's still kind of sideways. I don't know what signal that was. Crude. No, that was a good crude signal. That's up 14 ticks. NQ continuing to climb here a bit. We're up 13 ticks on the RTY trade here. It has broke its new high of the day by 4 ticks, but it's back down to 24.18.1. Oh, there we go. Steven, do you use TradingView? Okay, we're pulling back here some. And it seems to be struggling. Everything seems to have stalled. Okay, give me 1 second, Steven, and I'll show you. So let me just finish managing this trade here. definitely a stall here. We're about 15 minutes from the New York Bell. Let me quickly bring up the Dom, see if I can see anything from there. Pulling back. Oh, maybe not. Let's look at the Dom real quick. RTY. Some stacked orders here, up here at 18.5. Yep, we're gonna pull it. Um, take the $50. I think. Oh, 55, 50. Yeah, we're gonna pull it there. Taking the $50 win. It seems like they're stalling right now. Anyway, okay, Steven. Indicators. Let me get this down. Indicators. Then you want to go, well, type in super trend. And you want, hold on, super, give me a second. I'm having trouble. Well, here. Super trend by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Kivak Ozbilgic. I think he's Turkish. But yeah, this is what you want, super trend. And then this is the settings I have it on, because you can put it on different settings. The higher the amount, the less signals you get, and the later they'll come. And then the lower the setting, you'll have more signals, so you end up with more false signals, but you get them earlier, so you can get more of the move if you can filter out the false ones. I have mine set for an ATR period of 10. Source is high-low 2. And then the multiplier is 2.2. And I've put that on 2.2 just about on every chart. And then I have everything checked there. Hold on, sorry. It cut out of me because of that alert. I have all three of these checked. Change ATR calculation method, show buy sell signals, and highlighter on and off. Or the highlighter, the highlighter actually helps if you want it. It can show you the cloud of but that's the settings I use. But you can play with it and see if there's other settings you like. So if you look here, let me bring up this NQ chart here. You can see, buys and sells don't come real often. If I bring up the super trend here and I change this to 1.2, let's move this out of the way. Over here, and hit OK. Now you see all these different buys and sells. That's just too many, and that's too many false signals. So 2.2 is what I use. If you put it at like 3.2, then you barely get any. So 2.2 has been the sweet spot for me. S&P did make a new daily high, barely. I'm offended, Deco. How dare you? No, that's fine. I understand. I understand needing to concentrate. Don't you know? You missed I took a trade on the Russell, and I got a $50 gain, I think. Let's look at those stats. Hold on, let me find it. Boom, 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 boom. There. Executions. Russell from 16.9 to 17.8, so it's $45. $45 win. I think that's all you missed. And that you missed me explaining to Steven uh, my settings for the Super Trend on TradingView, and you missed Rich going long on the NQ and getting a $5 profit. And you missed me making noise getting eggs for breakfast. What? Yeah, definitely. Yep, green. Uh, Now up 182.50 on the day. So far, green on the Russell, green trade on the Russell, green trade on copper, and two small red trades on micro Nasdaq. We're about 9 minutes away from the New York Open. Steven, still there? Were you able to follow those instructions there for the Super Trend indicator? Do I want to thank everyone for joining me this Friday morning. Please feel free to be like Rich and Steven and Deco and say hi in the chat. Tell me how you're doing this morning. Tell me if you're trading. Um, How come you're not getting alerts? Well, let's look. Right, oh, the alerts that pop up, you gotta put those in. I'm sorry. You go to alert, and then you gotta set it so you hit condition. You go down here to Super Trend, and I just set Super Trend direction change once per bar, and then hit create. Now, depending on what TradingView subscription you have, if you have free, I think you can only create one alert, and then you get more with each higher tier. I have the Pro, so I get like 100 alerts. I think the cheaper plan gives you 20. So yeah, that's what you want to do. Direction change, super trend, direction change once per bar, and then however you wanted to notify you. You can notify on the app, show pop up. You can even have it make a noise. You can play a sound. You can send an email to your phone. Webhook. I'm not even sure what a webhook is, or I can send you an email, or all six, whatever you want. So I'm gonna mute here for just a couple minutes. My breakfast is ready, and I'm gonna eat without hearing you guys having to hear me chew. But I'm still monitoring the charts, and I'm still monitoring the chat, so I'll keep responding if I need to. You're very welcome. It'll only take me a few minutes here to eat, and I'll be back talking before the open. Are seeing a slight pullback here as we head into the open. UB with a signal down. Now you see the last sell signal in the UB did fail, immediately reversed. So, and on the 5 minute, the UB's kind of sideways. Definitely looks like I got out of that Russell trade at the right time. I'm glad I listened to myself there. It did reverse and come back down and did so quite violently. Okay, breakfast is done. Um, and we are just under 1 minute from the New York Open. We see the indices are trending down here into the open. Interested to see what they do. Rich, do you have a prediction? Remember, folks, I don't call out trades. I don't provide investment advice. This is for educational entertainment purposes only. So here we go. There's the open, pushing down. Now up. indecision so far. No real direction. NQ is really near the middle of its range. As the range for the day so far. It's about 23 points away from its highs and well, 30 points from its lows now that made that move down. Gold sending me a signal. Seems to want to move down. Copper moving down, hitting the SMA. Continuing watching indices. Ooh, bounce here on the Nasdaq. So we got a green 1 minute candle on the Nasdaq, but a red on the S&P. So we're down 10 points so far on the Nasdaq, and just 2.5 points on the S&P. Let's check the Russell. Russell, big move down here, 4.5 points, and oh, I'm a daily chart there. No wonder. It's like what? And the YM is down about 20. Definitely not sure of direction yet. Market's not sure of direction. Now we're seeing some green here on 1 minute charts on all four indices. Buyers are coming in. They just wanted a value. Bonds kind of going downward. Up, up then down. It's exercising. Up, down, left, right. ABBA start. I think that's the old contra code. Oh, wow. Look at that wick on the Russell in the 5 minute. Holy crap. That broke like the sixth standard deviation. So it went down 8.3 points. And it's come all the way back. And it's now, well, it's flirting with green and red. So it's Christmasing right now. Yeah, now it's going up. So it is a 10-point bounce from its low to its high right now. New 5 minute candle opened up. Nasdaq seems like that one minute candle was a mirage. It's continuing to push down. Interesting enough, we got this sell signal here, the super trend, 5 minutes before the open. and it would have given us that 30 points of profit that I look for. I gotta start listening to that more. The S&P's also bleeding out now, but it's at its five. It's at its 200 SMA on the 5 minute, trying to break through. It looks like it's succeeding. Anybody in anything? I was waiting for kind of a direction, and they took its direction. I didn't really jump on anything. After so Nasdaq's made a new daily low as it's just free falling. I wish I had listened to this sell signal. I gotta do some studying on Sunday to see how many times it sends a signal, and that signal ends up being correct for the open. Because it sent this signal 5 minutes before, and this would have been an excellent trade to be in. Still going down. New low of the day is 1610. So we've since the open we lost 60 points. Bouncing a little bit here. S&P down about 10. In terms of opens, this has been not real choppy. Still heading down. New low at 160950. Trying to bounce a bit here. What's resistance? Do we have any resistance here? Let's look. I have this line drawn out here for some reason. Well, so yesterday this is where it kind of stopped at 96.50. I got about 15 points before that. There was also this point here where it came down right before as we're going toward close. It got down to 0.04 and a quarter. So those are our two support areas. Seems to be bouncing some here. Russell still coming down. These have been some good Russell trades here. That bounce would have been awesome, but I don't know where he would have got in. I mean, seriously, that thing broke. How often do you see, let's go to our Bollinger Bands. And, 7. Oh, I'm not showing that one. Hold on. Yeah, that thing broke the 7th standard deviation Bollinger Band. That's unusual. Yep. NQ just free fell. Now it's trying to bounce here. This 5-minute candle is back up 16 points. So a low hit 0950. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to check on Tesla. Right there's why you saw your down move. If you watch Tesla, you see when Tesla moves, uh, so does the NQ and the ES, and you see Tesla from the open here from 1047 down to, so it's dropped about $14 a share. That's why I keep a Tesla chart up, just because it helps figure out what the indices might be doing. It's amazing how much influence one stock can have on the S&P, which is made up 500 stocks, and the Nasdaq, which made up 100. But it just Tesla just affects the whole market right now. Natural gas. Now you're cooking with gas. Let's see. So natural gas sent us a signal a few minutes ago. Let's see what it would have been doing since. Not a huge move. I'm actually usually looking for 60 ticks this time of day. It hasn't really been giving us any real follow through, so we'll see whether or not it gets anywhere close to that. I do got to start adjusting for my basic, for what price is doing lately, and maybe not being so static with my profit and stop losses. Oh, Nasdaq, that little bounce didn't last long. We're actually at a new low, 1606.75. Tesla continues to go down. Copper has been pretty much silent. Gold still choppy. Ultra bond. This would have been a good short position right here. Would have given us our 7 ticks. Agriculture. Well, that's a candle for you there on the 5-minute on the soybean. That open. Kind of amazing with something, that went up 30 points, down 60 points, and it ended up just two, every time that points ticks, ended up 2 ticks from where it started. Now moving up. Corn kind of did the same thing. Okay, we'll try to bounce again here on the indices. See, and again, now, again, notice the bounce here on the NASDAQ and the bounce here on Tesla. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, give me a signal. Really? So you see here on the 1 minute chart, we're close to getting a signal of the buy, but we're right at the downtrending SMA line, so I would not take that. What was up with these big spikes here on Tesla? Weird price action there. Up, big move back down on Tesla, another new daily low. So it keeps pushing down. Looks like we're going down to 16,000. Will it fall under? Up a little bounce. So before the open, we had a 62-point range for the from the top to the bottom today on Nasdaq, and it's expanded that now to 92, 93 actually, I believe. The S&P though is about 3 points away from its daily low. It hasn't touched or made a new low. Gold. Gold has been a grind up, just kind of hugging this SMA line. You can see here, this keeps kind of going up. You know, it's always frustrating when you're seeing this good price action. You see this big move down. This was, like a 50-point candle, and don't get anything out of it. And you're just looking for something to jump into. You don't want to feel FOMO. You don't want to jump in right as it reverses. You're just looking for some sort of a good signal. Would you feel like you're leaving money on the table? Gold is sending me a buy signal here. I don't know. I mean, it hasn't looked real strong. It's almost kind of sideways, just slightly uptrending. I think I want to see it get it back above this recent high here of 61.7. It's at 61.2 right now, so 5 ticks. It's trying. Maybe I doubted it too much. Ooh, so it looks like, look at that Dow chart. There's a 2-minute chart on the Dow. Wait, oops. Let me try actually clicking the right chart. That's an interesting looking chart. Down 27, up 29, down 36, up 30, down 21, up 17, down 19, and then this down. That's kind of wild. Y'all are quiet out there. Rich, Deco, Steve, got anything going on? Kind of Nasdaq and S&P are kind of sideways now. The Dow's fallen. Russell's sideways. Gold. Yeah, it wasn't much follow through in that move so far. Not really seeing anything exciting. Crude continues to grind up. Got a short signal here on copper, and it went away again. It's kind of flirting with it. You see on the 5 minute, the SMA line's kind of flattening out. This could be a sign that it is going to start reversing here, but we'll wait and see. Are you sim trading, Steven, or are you trading some sort of live account? Cool. That's what I figured, but I wasn't sure. And cure. So thank you for sending me a buy signal here in the 1 minute. It's interesting. It's come back by 30 points, almost well 40 points. I'm not sure. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen NQ come all the way back and then go green after starting so red. But see, Tesla's pushing up in the same way. I don't know. I'm gonna stay out. Probably shouldn't. I probably should take this. Probably gonna say in a few minutes how I wish I would have taken it. But we'll watch it for entertainment value, and y'all can laugh at me. Yeah. So far, I look right. I look like a genius right now. Because it pulls back by 7 points. Oh, wow. Pulled back by 18 points. ES. Also pulling back. Uh, it's indecisive right now. Maybe I should have taken that gold signal. We'll plot it. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, folks, the sound effects are free. crude, UB, NQRTY. Yeah, this gold trade's going, so I should have taken that. Yep, and I should have taken this NQ trade. So, this is what I mean. I need to take more trades. Although that, I admit, that would have scared me there when it went backwards. But at this point, we're looking for 120 ticks up. Ah. And, these alerts are blocking me making, an 80 stop loss. Oh, it says it would have? Really? Did it really go down? 39 down to 20? No, it didn't. Don't lie to me. I must have just plotted it wrong. There. Okay. Now, really, you had to interrupt me for all this? Crude sideways. So crude should need... Oh my god, look at that bond move. Wow. So Ultra Bond on this candle went up 23 ticks. Wow. $23 ticks in 1 minute. Straight up. Now pulling back. Notice on the 5 minute, it did tickle the third band and then pull back. Let's pull back now. Boom, 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 boom. 9 ticks. Slow move up here. Oh, let's see. The Russell's still coming down. Dow still doing this every other bar thing. Copper's slightly moving up. Close to its daily high again. The SMA line, though, is starting to flatten. Yeah. So what happened on that sim trade, Steven? Big move down here on the Russell. 6 points. That would have been a nice trade. So let's look. Nasdaq, Nasdaq's kind of going sideways here. Gold. I've been looking for 3.5 points, and it's at about 2.2. So what did you get out of that trade? Tesla has recovered a little bit, so we see natural gas has gone down. Gold is actually near its daily high, which occurred early in the session. Actually, it might be at, let's see, 64.9. go. I got it off by one. There we go. Still off by one. Close enough. 64.9, and we hit 64.5. So it's near its session highs. Copper near its session highs as well, but sideways. NQ just kind of hanging out here. ES doing the same. So the bonds. So you see here this big 23 tick move up on the bonds. It was followed by a 7 tick move downward, and then a 10 tick move upward, and now a 2 tick move downward. Normally I run a 5 tick stop loss, so if I would have got in off of this, this would have been a losing trade. But maybe sometimes I need to increase that stop. Although when you're talking about $31.25 a tick, you are that's can get hairy. So okay, so there's another buy signal here in the NQ on the 5 minute. So I shouldn't have doubted this. It looks like so 15 points since we got this signal. Although we do see resistance here in the form of the 200 SMA line and the 20 EMA line. Both lines are just sitting there. Remember, for those of you on YouTube, to please hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. I really much appreciate it. Rich, you still out there on Twitch, man? Rich on Twitch. Hey, didn't even try and rhyme that. Hey, wow, we have a little bit of a slow period here. I want to invite everyone. Tomorrow I'm holding a live webinar, both YouTube and Twitch, 2:30 Eastern Time. It's more for the newer people into this whole idea. I'll be going over some basics of trading, basics of futures, and talking about earn to trade and the opportunity there about getting funded to trade with their money. Plus, I'll go over some of my background, why I got into trading, and also go into some uh, the tools and the indicators I use and strategy. And I'll be taking questions all throughout and also at the end. So, yeah, I don't have anything to do. Feel free to come and check that out. Where's the webinar? YouTube and Twitch, this channel. Sell signal coming in here on copper. NQ slowly grinding up. ES trying to do the same. Kappa. Copper pushing down. I should have entered there. It's the fourth time I've said that in the last hour. Yeah. See, gold would have reached my profit target. NQ is up 13 points. Uh, Copper is going the right direction. GCCL. Let's see what they say. GC giving us a sell, uptrending SMA line. CL. Tired. Russell. Well, the Russell's trying to also head back up. Buy signal there. Seem to be bullish in all four indices right now. Big move up here on the Russell. Let's find our Russell chart again. Maybe we'll have two good trades on the Russell today. Wouldn't that be nice? And by the magic, there's our Russell chart. See if I always wait until the close of the candle that gives the signal. That closes in 20 seconds. It's kind of pulled back here, and yeah, I'm not taking that now. You see that pullback here? That was a reversal candle. Now it looks like it's gonna still go my way, and I should have taken it. But that was the wick ended up being 3 times the size of the body of the candle. Now it would have ended up being an excellent trade, and that's a bummer. But when you start pulling back like that, I saw a reversal. So we can see what that does. Part of me thinks I just need to take almost every signal, unless it's going right up against support and resistance. So you see this copper actually this no this one I did not regret. I regret not taking this one over here, but this one just fizzled out, immediately reversed. Russell, normally I'm looking for 3 points at this time of day. It's already at 2.2. For about 10:17 Eastern, we'll go to at least 10:30. We'll see how we're doing after that. I can put this back down. Oops. So I would have reached our 3-point profit target. So you can see how using these signals is definitely getting me the entries that I should be taking. And they don't all win. That would have been a loss there. Would have only went 8 points. But definitely provides me with good signals. I just need to take more trades. Gold. Gold did make a new daily high, and it's just made another new daily high. Setting us another long signal here. Let's look at our support resistance there. Next major, we're actually at another support resistance point. You can see where we're at. It hit 66.3 yesterday. We're at right there. We just blew through it. Wow. Next major point after that. It's way up here. It's 68.5. So that was a 2.5 point candle there. NQ going up. Yep. NQ would have hit my 30-point profit target if I had entered on that signal. Of course, I didn't enter on that signal. Because why would I want to? Why would I want a $600 winner? Why would anyone want $600 winner? So NQ did break through both the SMA and the EMA line on the 5. Still below where it was. Well, it opened up at 16,070. It's at 16,065 now. So 5 points away from where it opened. So it's going to gain almost everything back. And hello, Jay. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. And once again, Jay meet Steve. Steve meet Jay. Steve's on YouTube. Jay's on Twitch. You all can say hi to one another, even though you can't see each other. And you see here on the 1 minute, that move on NASDAQ there, big 18 points in 1 minute, blew through the third band, and then we had to pull back. Got up to 16,073 and is now pulled back to 57. So this break of the band from the high, it pulled back 15 points, and now it's coming back up. But again, a band break would have gotten you, if you played that reversal, would have got you at least 10 points. I think I might have lost Steve. They all leave me after a while. Up, gold made another new daily high. Gold is approaching that resistance line I just drew out. So again, this might have been a good position to take. I say that way too often. Oh no, you don't, no need to be sorry, Steve. We're all concentrating on different things. Tesla is, yeah, Tesla's kind of sideways. So this NQ move up is kind of with going without Tesla for once. Oops, I am on the wrong screen. Sorry about that. I did not mean to have the spreadsheet up. I thought I hit the trading view screen and I hit the spreadsheet screen. Sorry about that. I need a producer, someone that moves screens for me. Ultra Bond, so it did make that big move up, bounced down, bounced up, and now it's kind of coming back down. This is what you call a choppy trend up. You can see here we got this big move up here on crude oil, and it's kind of chopped up. You know, it's high here, equal to its high here, slightly high here, pulled back, and now it's moving up. So this would have been maybe good. It'd be, yeah, there would be up 21 ticks on this if we had entered on that. Now, this sell signal, the only reason that I wouldn't have been enticed by it is the fact that the candle was actually a doji candle, slightly green. So I won't get into a short position on a green or a doji candle, or I won't get in a long position on a doji candle either. But you can see crude's been doing excellent. If I had actually been entering 8, 9, 9 wins in a row, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8? 1, 2. Oh, that's right. This one isn't a win yet. Oh, yeah, it is. To just hit the profit goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 in a row. Now here, this copper trade, you'd see it started to come back down almost to, if we had gotten in It's almost back down to break even, only 5 ticks in the profit. But we got, let's see, we got within 1 tick of the profit target. So my trailing stop would have stepped in, and I would actually be out of this trade for like I believe 10 ticks. You got to give your trades room to breathe, which is why you give yourself a decent stop loss, but you don't want to turn something that comes within 1 tick of your profit target and let it fall all the way back and turn into a loser. So after it gets to a certain part, I move my stop loss to where I get some profit out of it. Now sometimes that does end up costing me because it'll come down to about halfway and then go back to the profit target and beyond. But I'd rather get something out of it than nothing. And I can always re-enter the trade if it looks bullish. Getting signals here on ES and UB. ES. Ooh, ES is pushing back down. UB is also pushing down. I gotta be faster. I need more screens. I would have got in on that. This would have been already real close to my profit target. So, stream's now 3 hours old. I want to thank both Comcast and my computer for allowing me to have a stream all in one part today. Yes, yes, I do. I follow mainly, I follow the Russell. I look at the Dow here a little bit, but I stopped charting the Dow. I don't know why. Just, I don't know. I figured the Dow, the NQ, and the ES all do the same thing almost. So the Russell, the Dow, I'm sorry, the Russell, the NQ, the ES, copper, gold. I have platinum up too. I started charting platinum and I stopped. Uh, the Ultra Bond and crude and natural gas. Of course, I also have Tesla up because I watch that. And I keep agriculture up. I haven't taken a trade in agriculture in months, but it's fun to watch. I have a dream setup in mind for computers at some point in time if I ever become rich. Or should I say when I become rich, of having 9 49-inch curved screens in a 3x3 pattern, flanked by two large horizontal monitors, so I can watch like 16 charts at one time, YouTube, my streaming, and a few other things all at once. Gold, we're sitting here. Gold did break that resistance point I drew out earlier, but then reversed shortly after. So that area is still a resistance area. It's 10:30. I'll hang around for at least 15 more minutes, see if we have anything fun to trade. I've already missed a bunch of entries that I should have taken. Could have been a much better morning. You know, we got two great signals here on the NQ that I didn't take. Both of these would have given me $600 wins for one contract. So I'm frustrated at that. Although I mean, I hardly ever take a trade right before the open. I do need to do a study though to see how many times if something sends me a signal right before the open that it gets the profit target. Because it seems like it happens a lot, even as much as I hate trading the open. Let's look yesterday, although yesterday wasn't a normal day because of the holiday. Let's see, where's the open? There. And yes, yesterday, same thing. Signal sent 14 minutes before the open would have worked. Let's look at Wednesday. We go back in time. Thank you, Jay. Jay is my cheerleader. Jay is frustrated that I don't take trades. Almost as frustrated as me, I think. Okay, so here is the open. Let's see. Here's the open from Wednesday. I got a signal 4 minutes before the open, and that would have been. Look at this. I gotta really do a study on this. Let's go back one more day. One more day. I know y'all tune in for my singing. So this one did work also with the open, but that's a weird open. I don't remember this Tuesday morning open that was so docile. But it's also interesting that every morning we've opened down. So there have been four straight opens that that the signal that happened before the open would have worked. Let's check Monday just for fun. Okay, let's see. Where's Monday? That the open? Ooh, that open looked ugly. Okay, so I'm not sure how you wanna. Okay, first of all, the open, all five opens this week have started down. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a pattern to that, but anyway, this buy signal actually came in almost an hour and a half before open, and we didn't have much volume, and it almost got the profit target twice right before the open. Sold off going into the open, didn't stop me out. Wouldn't even came close, saying that says 15 and a normal run of 20, and then went back up to the profit target. So that's kind of interesting. So it sold off and then went up, and then so I need to take more trades. What was that last signal? Gold again. Gold's an attention hound today. Yeah, sideways. Kappa. Ultra bond. I just missed that signal earlier. I would have taken this. I missed it, and it would have easily gone to my profit target. GCNQ. GC is heading downward. Looks like it's heading toward the SMA line on the 5 minute. NQ. Back to the Bollinger Band. Just kind of hanging around that SMA and EMA line that are pretty much sideways here. And pretty much right in the middle of the daily range. Low is about 001. The high was 94, and we're at 55. So it's right in the middle. Natural gas is making new daily lows in a big way. That's a 30 point candle down. So let's look at resistance. Our next resistance point is all from yesterday. Horizontal ray. Right there. And then right there. Oh yeah, that's right. Click it again. So not too far away from one another, really only 11 ticks. It is pulling back now after it made that new low. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Seeing 4 people each on YouTube and Twitter. If you're here on YouTube, please remember to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you're over on Twitch and you haven't followed, I would appreciate if you do, if you feel like it. Okay, Jay, I'll be here, I think, assuming like a meteor doesn't hit. Oh, Deco, what kind of profit did you get? What trade did you take before you go? Have a great weekend, Deco. Oh, nice. Good job, Deco. Great way to end the week. Thanks, man. Great job. Great job. That's the way to start a weekend. See ya. NQ bounced off the Bollinger Band and went back up. Trying to push above this. The high of this latest move here is 16,073. It's at 764. Trying to push back up. Uh, Good question. What was the last trade you saw, Rich? I don't think I've taken any since you've been here. I've this morning I've lost on two MNQ trades, one on copper, one on Russell, and I'm up I'm up 182.50. I was just saying though that I should be taking more trades. Yeah, the NQ. I was just showing this. You know, I would have if I would have followed the signals. It gave me two great signals. Even though that bar down would have scared me, but I would have gotten two 30-point winners if I had followed the signals. How about you, Rich? Did you take any trades? Oh wait, you did. Yeah. Have you taken any trades since that $5 profit earlier? And Rich, I don't think you told me. How did your YM trade turn out? Russell, new daily low on the Russell. Nice. Green is green. Can't complain about that. Copper's hanging out right at the top of its daily range here. Got a sell signal on it, but we see that we have not had any real follow throughs. We've had a sell signal here that didn't work. We had one here that didn't work. So I really want to see it break that SMA line before I would consider taking it. The last one that worked was way back here, about 3 hours, 2 hours ago. Yeah, I made a nice bounce there, and it was a slow grind. It wasn't like one huge move either. It was slow. I was watching Tesla as it was happening. Tesla's kind of just flat, but it kind of moved up with it there. Now Tesla's actually pushing down. Yeah, I looked at this trade. I looked when NQ fired that buy signal. I was like, you know what? Maybe because it was so slow of a grind up. I really wasn't sure. And then it started pulling back, and it scared me. So I did not get in. But I mean, it came with if I had, it would have got within a point of my stop. But it quickly reversed and went. So these two trades here that I did not take represent $1,200 in profit I didn't get with one contract. ES. Strong move here on the ES. Strong move here on NQ. Hey, Rich, you still paying attention? We're getting strong moves here. Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. I'm so frustrated. I mean, I've showed you my spreadsheet, right? It shows I get between 60 to 65% win rate. No, you're totally right. I frustrate myself so much by not taking these trades when I should. I just it's just a mental block. It's like, and I really feel that once I break this mental block, things are just gonna be excellent. You know, it's but it's just getting to that point. And Q going up toward its daily high here. Yeah, I mean everybody tells me that. I show people the spreadsheet and the win loss rates. I mean, even if I was wrong, even if my win loss rate was 50%, every trade I'm taking is better than a 1-to-1 reward to risk. So even at 50%, statistically, I'll be coming out on top. I think once I start taking it, it just part of my problem is it seems too easy. This is a very common indicator. And yeah, I mean, I pair a couple of things with it with the SMA and the bands, but it just seems like this is too easy in getting these win rates that it makes me doubt it for some reason. It's almost like I wish I could find someone else to be willing to trade my strategy for a week to prove to me that it would work, if that makes any sense. Welcome to everyone joining right now on Twitch. Feel free to say hi in the chat. We're going to be wrapping up here in the next 10, 12 minutes toward the top of the hour, probably, unless something really exciting happens. But definitely feel free to say hi or ask any questions if you have any questions, make any comments, statements. And please feel free to hit that follow button. I think that's what it's called on the follower on the uh, Russell. Russell moving back up. See, the Russell fell here. It's just been downtrending since here. Easily another 3-point move. And there's a buy signal on the Russell. Let's find ourselves a Russell chart. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. 35 seconds on this candle. I always wait for the candle to close. Every time I don't wait for the candle to close, I regret it. Okay, we're in on the Russell. We had a win on it earlier for about $45. Oops, pulling back hard. Down 6 ticks. Copper with a signal. It's also giving us a buy signal. I want to see it get below, up above that SMA line first. Looks like the Russell doesn't really want to go here. See that everything's kind of straight, which kind of bothers me. I was hoping it was going to bend those bands. Ouch, pull back. We're now down 10 ticks. No, 20 ticks. Giving it room. I'm running a 25 tick stop loss here. So it's getting close, but trying to see if it bounces off this SMA line. Okay, our stop was filled, so we just gave back most of our profit for today. It's kind of a bummer. $57 green now. So instead of bending those bands up, it just came back. See, that's where I try not to get frustrated, but this one would have worked. I would have. This is 3 winners in a row if I would have taken him. Even that would have probably won, maybe. Even so, okay. Here, that would have won. So, and I just end up taking the one that doesn't win. No, statistically, it says the next one I should win, based on what I've been doing. But I apologize for the voices you might be hearing in the background. NQ hit it. NQ hit a new high for the day by a few points. So, looking at that Russell trade, I always, if I lose a trade, I always try and figure out if there's anything different I could have done. And there really isn't, the only thing is you see that the bands are still downtrending. Technically, we were still in a downtrend, I guess. So I went against trend. But it looked like they were starting to settle and, you know, like here, this would have worked for 3. So, I don't know. I guess, if I look for the one error I made, I was really close to the bands. This closed at 24,074. The band was at 24,079. So that was probably my mistake. If you look over here, off of this buy signal,